soon. So let's go ahead now. We're done with Survivor Series 88. We're rolling into the new year. We're back on track here for the Mega Powers. It's 1989, and very early in the year, we go to one of the best events of the year, the Royal Rumble.
Right.
And there had been previous Rumbles prior to this, but this is going to be an interesting one because both the Macho Man and the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan are all in this one. At some point, Macho Man is tied up with Bad News Brown. Hogan dumps them both out at the same time, and Savage is pissed. They manage to patch things up afterwards, but for a few minutes, there's a very tense moment. Elizabeth's kind of in the middle, and then cooler heads prevail. They hug it out, and the night goes on. So now you're really starting.
Now we're getting into it because Hogan has now cost Randy the victory at the Royal Rumble. So now it's progressing. It's getting physical between the two. So you had your initial look. You had the hand on the derriere. You got Hogan dumping Randy out over the top rope and eliminating him at the Royal Rumble. But they're still the Mega Powers. So they're still the strongest team there is. And along the way, here come the Twin Towers, Akeem, the African Dream, and the Big Boss Man with their manager Slick. And we get to the main event, which is the Friday night primetime special on NBC. The Mega Powers versus the Twin Towers with Slick in one corner and Miss Elizabeth in the Mega Powers corner. And we get there, and that was the night that Randy took a bump on the outside of the ring and wiped out Elizabeth on the floor. Elizabeth's knocked out cold. Randy gets pulled back into the ring and is in the ring getting the crap beat out of him by the Mega Powers. When Hulk sees Elizabeth down and hurt, he has to take care of Elizabeth. So Hulk scoops Elizabeth up and takes her to the back to the doctor in the backstage area, leaving Randy in the ring by himself to fight off the Twin Towers, while Hulk is left with his love, Miss Elizabeth.
Now, this is actually live.
Live.
And there is a famous leak that was really popular with the tape trading community in the 90s where you can hear what I believe to be an NBC executive giving a countdown to Hogan. Hogan's out of character, standing around in the back, hanging out. And chaos ensues. What was your memory of that?
Have you ever died a slow death?
No, but you have a few times, I
think. You know what? That's going to be a show here pretty soon, too. Yeah, we were on the air, and they were trying to... They being, well, production people and stagehands to let Hulk know that we were on the air. And Hulk not getting the clue and is trying to ask how much time until we come back live. And we were live. And Hulk was a little bit out of character. And, yeah, that made error. So anyone who taped it live on its first run
got that.
Would have gotten Hulk asking for the time.
And so they're in the back, and they're going to go ahead and have Miss Elizabeth on a stretcher. Hogan and Savage are going to confront each other. Hogan attacks.
Savage attacked.
I'm sorry. Savage attacks Hogan, hits him with the Winged Eagle Championship, and Hogan would later write in his book that gave him a concussion, and he was seriously injured and wasn't sure if he could continue.
Well, Randy giving you any kind of blow would be grounds for a concussion back in those days.
But
no, I don't know if Hulk actually had a concussion or not. Gorilla Monsoon would say I would highly doubt it.
Off camera, who would have been? You've told me before, and maybe we haven't shared it on the show. What level of involvement did NBC have in the main event programs that you guys aired with them?
Well, they were co-produced with Dick Ebersol's company, and They had a lot of heavy involvement in it. They wrote a lot of scripts, and they had a lot to do with the production of it, and they were very, very much heavily involved. It was co-promotion.
But you're producing television at the time, so where would you have been in this backstage scene?
At that point, I was running. running. I was running from Gorilla back to the medic scene in my full Brother Love gear.
In a headset.
In a headset, yes.
Okay. The show goes off the air with an injured Hogan roaming the halls. Is that right?
Yes.
And now, to kind of backtrack, WrestleMania 4, they're all in the ring together.
One big happy family.
SummerSlam, he looks maybe a little too long at Miss Elizabeth with her dress on.
His eye.
Survivor Series, hoists her up on the shoulder, hand on the derriere, maybe a little too
Getting
long.
a freebie, yeah.
Royal Rumble, Hogan dumps Savage out.
Trying to impress Elizabeth, huh?
Now, main event, Hogan tries to rescue Miss Elizabeth.
Leaving me in the ring to fight and fare for myself while you take my manager back to the back to do who knows what.